Brought to you by the Cool Fat Burner, the world's first brown fat weight loss device.
Hey everyone, it's Eric, creator of the Cool Fat Burner, the world's first brown fat thermal loading weight loss device, guaranteed to burn calories. Now today I'm going to share with you the secret of how this 38-year-old geezer is able to eat junk food practically every day of the week, yet still burn fat and lose weight. Now before I get into this, I want to make a few facts clear right from the start. One, I'm not naturally gifted, naturally lean. I'm not some scrawny hard gainer that can eat junk food all day and not gain weight. Here's a picture from me just over a year ago, okay? Eating pretty much the same types of foods I eat today, and I pack it on quick and easy. Now here's a footage from me from a few hours ago, okay? So yeah, I learned a secret between then and now, okay? Now, second fun tip here. We're not talking about counting calories. We're not going to eat junk food and then skip the rest of our food. What's the point of that, going hungry all day just so you can eat some junk food? And along with that, we're not talking little morsels. We're talking huge, massive amounts of junk food, okay? We are talking ice cream with toppings upon toppings, from Pennsylvania homemade ice cream, cakes and pie, cheesecake with jelly spread on it. We're talking cereal and more cereal, nachos, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. We're talking homemade peanut butter eggs, yellow cake with chocolate fudge icing, homemade cookies. I go through and roll that stuff in 2 days. We're talking store-bought cookies. You name it, I'm eating it. Oh, and the strawberry shortcake. Good grief, I go through that stuff. So everything you saw, that's what I ate in about the last 2 weeks. Even before filming this, I just had 5, 6, 7 pieces of French toast smothered in syrup, okay? So, what is the secret? What allows me to eat all that junk food and yet not gain any fat and keep losing weight? All right, the secret is this. I use a particular diet, power endurance exercise, and thermal loading, Cool Fat Burner, in just such a way that it keeps the junk food from sticking to me and actually lets the fat keep burning off. The general routine is this, and let me say real quick too before I forget. I've tried this with just 1, 2, and 3 of the factors. It doesn't work. I've tried it with just diet. I put on 5 pounds over Christmas break, so just diet alone won't work. And with added exercise in the spring, it still didn't work. I still gained fat. It was slow fat gain, slower than over Christmas, but I still gained it. So I have to do all 3 to keep from putting the chub on when I eat all the junk food, all right? Now, as for the diets, simple, basic overview, you're gonna put all your junk food into one meal, one junk food meal. The rest of the day, you have to stick to one of these particular diets. You can do either a no, low, or slow carb diet, or intermittent fasting. Now, no carb diet would be like a ketogenic diet, Atkins, that sort of diet. Basically, you trick your body into burning fat instead of glucose for energy because you only eat like 30 to 50 carbs a day. It's a pretty limited diet. Most people aren't going to stick to it. A low carb diet, well, basically, you're just going to limit the carbs in your diet to under 100, 150 carbs a day. Most popular version of that would probably be the paleo diet, the so-called caveman diet. The slow carb diet, that's where you replace all your carbs, your normal carbs, with slow carbs, i.e. the carbs in the foods are bound to fibers. So you're talking about foods like legumes, beans, lentils, things like that, as well as cruciferous vegetables. That's a diet popularized in the book The 4-Hour Body. And then finally, you can do intermittent fasting. There's different regimes of that. I do the LeanGains version, except I don't count calories or protein and don't cycle carbs or fat. So basically, I don't do any of it except I squeeze my meals down into a feeding window, which whenever you subtract the sleep and an hour here and an hour there, it's really easy to limit your food intake to like a 5 to 8 hour window. So that's your diet. You stick on that diet the whole day except for your one junk food meal, which is kind of sandwiched between, no pun intended, sandwiched between your power endurance training and your thermal loading. So for the power endurance training, that's what we used to call it, power endurance. Then you heard Metcon for metabolic conditioning. You heard, well, interval training, circuit training, station training. It's all kind of similar thing. High intensity training, kettlebell work, CrossFit, all this stuff has a lot of overlap. It's very similar. basically you're going to do full body, all-out explosive exercises for a set or two. Then you're going to alternate between simple resting, active rest movements that are much less demanding. And you're basically just going to alternate back and forth for the duration of the workout. Now, the only rules I use, soft rules at that. If I feel like breaking them that day, I break them. The only soft rules I use, my workout's got to be at least 20 minutes, and I got to keep my heart rate at least 70% max for the duration. That's it. 20 minutes, 70% max heart rate, and that's all I worry about. As for the exercises, full body exercises, typically you're going to have to use resistance, but you can do body weight exercises. You're talking about things like squats, cleans, deadlifts, plyometric box jumps, kettlebell work, kettlebell snatches, swings, cleans and jerks, juggling, whatever, windmills, two-hand anyhows. But you can also be doing wind sprints, you can be doing burpees, anything that uses your whole body, push presses, lunges, front squats, whatever. The full body exercises have to shoot your heart rate up and give like a momentary exhaustion. Okay, that's what the full body exercise does. Then you alternate over to an active rest exercise. This can be something as simple as push-ups or bench presses. You can work your arms. You can hold static positions or do yoga type stuff, or you can just walk around. Okay, all of that kind of falls under the active rest, active recovery exercises. How long you do it, and how long you take a rest in between, that's up to you. Me, it's all about my heart rate. Before my heart rate drops, I hit another set of whichever I'm about to do. As for sets and reps, again, I play it loose and easy, but for me, I alternate between cycles of 2 to 3 cycles of light, medium, and high rep stuff. So figure this, below 6 reps is for power and explosiveness, 6 to 12 is for strength and size, above 12 is endurance. That's kind of an oversimplified, loose rule. So I'll do 2 to 3 weeks of power endurance of 6 or less reps, then alternate over to 2 to 3 weeks of 6 to 12 reps, alternate over to 2 to 3 weeks of 12 or more reps. If I'm running, that changes correspondingly. So sprints will be into power, long distance running will be more of the endurance stuff. And that's pretty much it. Those are my rules. As for which exercise you do, mix and match, do whatever you feel like. Okay, so we have diet, up to your power endurance workout. Then we have your meal followed by your desserts, your junk food. Now we have thermal loading. Now what I do is I take a cool shower, not cold, but I'll take a cool shower typically. And then I'll go straight into an air-conditioned room and throw in the cool fat burner. I leave it open and let it rest over my collarbones for the first half hour, so it's sure to cover my brown fat zones under the collarbones. And then I'll gulp a glass of ice water to get it started. Now, to make this work, to burn off the glucose, make sure the junk food doesn't stick to you, you're going to have to go at least medium intensity. That means no less than goosebumps, all the way up to a subtle twitching of the muscles in the gut, deep in the gut. Basically, what you're talking about is a subtle pre-shiver. But because you're sitting in your home, you're doing whatever, messing around in the house, you don't really notice it as such. It's certainly not in any way uncomfortable. It's actually enjoyable. Typically, I'll wear shorts, socks, and gloves with the fingers out so I can still horse around the computer or whatever. And again, medium intensity, goosebumps up to the subtle pre-shiver. I'll do that for the first half hour. Then for the last half hour, I'll cross them, throw in a strap so it'll give compression. I just add a little more of the cold in, and I'll wear it for another half hour at least. So I'm doing at least a full hour, medium intensity. At the end of that, I'll take it off, throw it back in the freezer, and then I'll just relax for a while. It could be half hour, it could be 3-4 hours, whatever I feel like on that particular day. And if you do that, to low levels of thermal loading, you're getting calories burned. Beyond that, you start getting brown fat activated. That's going to directly burn fat as well as burn off the glucose in your bloodstream. Remember, when you eat this junk food meal, it's going to be converted to glucose. Your brain's going to use it up, your organs, and then your muscles, especially thanks to the power endurance routine we did before. However, if there's any glucose floating around your bloodstream, that's probably going to get converted to fat. So the brown fat activated by the cool fat burner can help burn that off before it turns to fat. Then something can be released called adiponectin. That will help directly burn fat as well as shuttle the glucose into your muscles. That's why so many people, some of my testers who use the cool fat burner, they can talk about feeling pumped up afterwards. That's probably why the adiponectin is forcing the glucose into the muscles. You can also have skeletal muscle uncoupling, where the muscles work on a chemical level to generate heat by burning up that glucose in the bloodstream. And then finally, if you go up into high level intensity, hardcore intensity, you'll actually move into a shiver level where you're burning 400 to 500 calories per hour. That's probably more than what you'll burn working out during the power endurance routine. So with the thermal loading, you're burning off the calories, you're directly burning fat, you're burning off calories, the glucose in the bloodstream, you're causing hormonal changes and positive benefit, and of course there's the post-exercise recovery that cold therapy can induce, so that you recover faster from the workout, reduce lactic acid inflammation, and so forth. So it's just good all the way around. So again, you got your diet, you have your power endurance training, your junk food meal, thermal loading, then diet for the rest of the night. That's it. That's how I have been able, this 38-year-old geezer has been able to eat junk food pretty much every day of the week, yet keep the fat off, keep the weight down, and stay in shape. So if you give it a shot, please take notes and records. I'd like to hear what works best for you, and good luck. Hope to hear from you.
Brought to you by the Cool Fat Burner, the world's first brown fat weight loss device.